Have you ever wondered why some people attract money without running, without getting tired? Why does it sometimes feel like their life moves effortlessly, while yours just keeps running endlessly? Why do some people live peacefully without overworking, and we, even after working all day, still fear where tomorrow's money will come from? Is there a mindset switch that makes life easier? Where hard work exists but anxiety doesn't? Where you hustle but peace stays with you? If you've ever felt, maybe I can achieve something bigger, I just need to shift my thinking, then today's video is for you. Welcome to Book Brief USA, where we don't just summarize books, we uncover the secrets of life itself. Here, every summary isn't just about a book. It's a feeling, one that changes the way you think. So let's begin with a book that teaches you not just how to earn money, but how to attract it calmly, naturally, and with true faith. Fear versus Flow Mode. Since childhood, we've all been taught hard work is the key to success. But no one ever told us that. Stress is the rust that stops the key from turning. When you're running because of a deadline or fear failure, you enter the fear mode. And at that moment, your mind stops being creative and becomes reactive. Carlson says, hard work only bears fruit when your mind is peaceful. If you work under tension, the work will exhaust you, but it won't reward you. In fear mode, your brain thinks in limitations. It just wants to survive. But in flow mode, your creativity, intuition, and energy are at their peak. That's where the ideas come from. The ones that create wealth. Carlson puts it beautifully. You can't create wealth with a worried mind. You can only create wealth with a peaceful one. Vibration and attraction. The book's title itself hides a deep philosophy. Don't worry, make money. It means the beginning of wealth isn't in earning, it's in releasing worry. Carlson says, worry doesn't make you productive. It only makes you tired. Today, even neuroscience agrees. When we are calm, our brain waves move into the alpha state, and in that state, we make our best financial decisions. When we constantly think, what if I don't get the promotion? What if the client leaves? That energy pushes money away. If your vibration is filled with fear, money will behave like fear and slip away. But if your vibration is filled with peace and trust, abundance will naturally start moving toward you. Carlson says, stop chasing money. Stop doubting your worth. Just relax, do your work, and money will follow. Peace is a superpower. Carlson says, when you work peacefully, things unfold in their own perfect time. If you keep digging up a seed every day to check if it's growing, it won't. But if you stay calm, one day it becomes a tree. When your mind is calm, your decision-making power grows. You start acting from awareness, not impulse. And most importantly, you learn to trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust that what's meant for you will never leave you. Carlson says, the more peaceful you are inside, the more abundance flows outside. Slow down to speed up. Whenever you feel like you're falling behind, that everyone is moving ahead of you, then from today, every time you feel that rush inside, pause and ask yourself, am I running because I'm afraid or walking because I trust? Carlson says, when you slow down a little each day, you begin to reprogram your subconscious mind. Gradually, your mind shifts from panic mode to trust mode. Final learning. The biggest truth of this book is, money is not a destination. It's a result. It's the result of your clarity, faith, and inner peace. If you are peaceful inside, money stays with you. If you are anxious inside, money may come, but it will leave. Because in the end, money is not the result of your work. It's the result of your vibration. When your mind is calm, the world starts flowing with you, not against you. In the next part, we'll explore Richard Carlson's effortless wealth mindset and the small daily practices that gradually build financial magnetism within you. Have you ever felt that you're doing everything right, working hard, praying sincerely, planning carefully, yet somehow money just doesn't stay with you? Ever looked at your bank balance and felt that quiet unease, like a soft voice inside whispering, After all this, just this much? And then you see others. They don't work as hard. They're never stressed. Yet somehow, they never seem short of money. Is it luck? No, it's the effortless wealth mindset, a way of thinking that replaces hustle with harmony, fear with faith, and tension with tranquility. Carlson says, when you stop trying so hard, life starts working for you, not against you. Meaning, the moment you stop forcing life, it begins to flow with you, not against you. The myth of constant hustle. Society has taught us, if you're not working hard, you'll fall behind. But no one ever taught us that. Hard work and mental peace can coexist. Carlson writes, people work so hard to make money that they forget to live the life money was supposed to improve. In other words, we lose the very peace that money was meant to bring back. The first sign of the effortless wealth mindset is this. You don't work less, you just don't work anxiously. When your focus shifts from doing more to being calm, your mind starts thinking better. You make smarter decisions. And that's where money begins to flow, effortlessly. Think about it. You stay up till 2 a.m., chasing a little more income. But when you wake up, you feel drained, not fulfilled. In real life, how many times have you made a poor financial decision in panic? How many times have you accepted an offer out of fear and later regretted it? Carlson says, that's not money's fault. That's your mindset's fear. Flow, not force. Carlson says, nature never hurries, yet everything is accomplished. That's the second principle of effortless wealth. Flow with life, not against it. So the question is, if nature is so effortless, why are humans so stressed? When you try to force life, saying things like, I have to be rich now, I need results immediately, you disrupt natural timing. But when you begin to flow with life, the right things start happening at the right time. Carlson calls this the psychological flow state, a state where work doesn't feel like struggle because your mind is free from resistance. Think about it. If a river tries to flow against its own direction, will it ever reach the ocean? No, it reaches only when it follows its natural flow. Wealth works the same way. Money comes when you let it flow, not when you force it to come. The energy of calm. Now imagine this. When you're anxious, what kind of energy do you feel? Your heartbeat rises, breathing shortens, thinking narrows. But when you're calm, your energy feels smooth, your mind open. Carlson says, peace isn't a luxury, it's a strategy. Think about it. When you reply to an email in panic versus when you do it calmly, the difference isn't just in words, it's in vibration. Peace isn't a reward you earn later. It's your greatest weapon. When you remain calm, your energy becomes magnetic. According to neuroscience, in a calm state, your brain operates in alpha waves, where imagination, clarity, and decision power peak together. It's in this state that your ideas become powerful, and those ideas create money. Carlson says, money is a reflection of how peacefully you think about it. Gratitude multiplies everything. The effortless wealth mindset begins with gratitude, because gratitude dissolves scarcity. When you're grateful, your mind shifts from I don't have to I already have. That's how you rise to the frequency of abundance. Carlson writes, appreciation is the fastest way to attract prosperity. Imagine if every morning you thought, I'm thankful I get to create something again today. Wouldn't your vibration instantly change? Wealthy people aren't just grateful for money. They're grateful for opportunities, because gratitude keeps them grounded. Carlson says, fear contracts, gratitude expands. Fear shrinks you, gratitude expands you, and wherever there's expansion, money flows freely. So tell me, when was the last time you truly said thank you from your heart? The faith factor. The deepest part of the effortless wealth mindset is faith. Faith doesn't just mean belief in God. It means belief in yourself and in your process. Carlson says, faith is not believing that everything will be easy. It's believing that everything will make sense. Faith doesn't mean the path will always be smooth. It means trusting that every turn has a purpose. When you believe that everything has meaning and timing, you stop panicking. You start waiting, consciously, peacefully, and that calm waiting gives your actions the right direction. Richard Carlson himself wrote that his life changed when he learned to let go of control. He said, "Every time I relaxed, things started to work better. My mind, my relationships, even my money." Trust your timing. Start one small habit from today. Whenever things feel slow, tell yourself, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This simple affirmation pulls your mind out of anxiety. Gradually, your thoughts shift from impatience to inner pace. Carlson says, patience is not waiting, it's peaceful waiting. And maybe that's the greatest wealth secret. Those who rush exhaust themselves. Those who trust timing succeed. When you build this mindset, your subconscious stops rejecting wealth. You stop competing with life and start collaborating with it. Effortless wealth isn't a shortcut. It's a state of being. A state where money becomes a result, not of your work, but of your vibration. Carlson reminds us, money is a friend of calm people. So don't stop hustling. Just shape your hustle in peace. Because when your mind is calm, your decisions are bold, your energy is clear, and that clear energy attracts wealth. That's the mindset shift. That changes everything. And in the next part, you'll discover the 3 invisible forces that turn hustle into harmony: purpose, patience, and perspective. Have you ever felt like life has turned into a treadmill? The same run, the same breath, the same exhaustion. But the destination? Unknown. You're earning money, but peace isn't growing. Work is increasing, but happiness isn't. And then you see someone who works less, earns more, and most importantly, smiles more, because they're not chasing money, they're chasing purpose. Carlson says, when your work has meaning, money follows naturally. Meaning, when your work carries purpose, money becomes its companion, not its chase. Purpose, the invisible magnet. According to Richard Carlson, most people work because they have to, but those who work because they want to, for them, money becomes secondary, and that's where the effortless wealth flow begins. Carlson writes, people who love what they do rarely worry about money, because their energy itself attracts opportunities. When you love what you do, your actions carry a natural confidence. That confidence is felt by clients, bosses, and people, and it brings you more trust, more chances, and more money. Think about it. If every morning you wake up to do work that feels like a burden, you're not just spending money, you're spending energy. When Steve Jobs started Apple, his goal wasn't to make money, it was to make things beautifully simple. Carlson says, purpose brings peace, and peace brings prosperity. When your work has meaning, you don't hustle, you flow. Dizzy mini reflection. Ask yourself, am I doing what I love or what others love to see me doing? Because Carlson says, as long as you measure success by someone else's definition, money will always feel like borrowed happiness. Patience, the wealth of time. One of Carlson's most beautiful philosophies. You don't need to rush life. It's not a competition. He says impatience is the deepest root of financial anxiety. We often think, I want to get rich fast. I want results now. I want everything immediately. But Carlson reminds us, money grows like a tree, slowly, silently, naturally. Every time you say, I want it fast, remember, trees that grow fast rarely have deep roots. Those who understand this truth stop chasing short-term gains and start building long-term stability. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It means doing everything without panic. Everything has a natural timing. Carlson says, if you trust the process, you stop forcing the outcome. In the book, he gives a lovely example. If a farmer digs up a seed every day to check if it's growing, the crop will never come. Wealth is the same. You must nurture it with effort, not anxiety. Think, how many times have you made a financial decision out of fear? If I don't do this now, I'll miss a chance. Carlson says, opportunities return to those who stay calm, and often they return better. Perspective, the lens of abundance. Carlson's third principle is perspective, the way you see things. He says, your perspective about money decides your peace, not the money itself. Money is rarely the real problem. It's our thinking. If you view life through the lens of enough, you relax. But if you view it through not enough, restlessness never ends. Carlson puts it simply, abundance is not about how much you have. It's about how you think about what you have. Two people receive the same paycheck. One says, just this much. The other says, I'm grateful, another chance to create. The difference isn't an income, it's an intention. This book teaches us. True wealth isn't in your bank balance. It's in your mind balance. When your perspective shifts, stress fades, and wealth starts flowing naturally. Practical insight, the 3P triangle. Carlson calls these three ideas the 3P triangle. Purpose, patience, perspective. And he says, when these three align, worry disappears and money flows. Small blue diamond purpose gives you direction. Small blue diamond patience gives you trust. Small blue diamond perspective gives you peace. When these three work together, you stop chasing money and start flowing with life. Carlson says, imagine your mind as a calm lake. When the surface is still, it reflects everything clearly. When the surface is still, even the sky reflects perfectly. When your mind is calm, every decision becomes clear, every opportunity visible, and every step precise. But when you live in fear, comparison, or stress, the lake gets disturbed, and everything turns blurry. That's why he says, the calmer you are, the smarter you become. Effortless wealth isn't a technique. It's a way of living. When you have purpose, patience, and perspective, money stops being a target and becomes a byproduct. Carlson's message is clear. Don't try to make money your master. Make it your mirror. It reflects your state of mind. Because in the end, money is only as peaceful as you are. If your mind is calm, money comes calmly. If your mind is restless, money becomes restlessness. Purpose gives you reason. Patience gives you rhythm. Perspective gives you rest. And when reason, rhythm, and rest come together, money stops being a result and becomes a reflection. Carlson says, when your heart is at peace, your wallet follows. So now it's time to bring this 3P triangle into your life, because these are the invisible powers that turn hustle into harmony. Sometimes letting go of control is the very secret that brings everything under your control. In the next part, we'll explore Carlson's let go strategy, how the moment you stop forcing control, money, people, and opportunities start moving into your control effortlessly. Has it ever happened that the more you try to hold on to something, the faster it slips away? Like sand, the tighter you grip, the quicker it escapes through your fingers. We do the same with money. We think control makes us safe, but in truth, it's what exhausts us. Richard Carlson says, the more you hold on, the more life slips away. And that brings us to the book's fourth principle, the let go strategy, which means let go of control so that things can find their own balance. Why control fails? Carlson explains, the need for control doesn't come from insanity. It comes from insecurity. We hold things tightly because we don't trust that if we let go, everything will still be okay. He writes, fear makes us grab tighter. Peace allows us to open up. We think, if I stop controlling, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, control often creates chaos. Think about it. When you keep analyzing a problem every hour, it starts feeling bigger than it really is. But when you leave it alone for a while, your calm mind finds a solution naturally. Carlson writes, your mind knows how to solve things when you stop overthinking. When you let go of thought, clarity arrives. And when clarity arrives, money, decisions, and direction all start flowing easily. The money paradox. Carlson says, the less you worry about money, the easier it becomes to earn. This single line is a heartbeat of the entire book. He explains that money is energy, and it doesn't respond to your fear. It responds to your faith. When you operate in control mode, You vibrate in the frequency of fear. What if I lose this? What if my income stops? That energy creates scarcity in your subconscious. But when you let go, your vibration shifts from scarcity to flow, and that flow attracts abundance. Carlson says, money is like water. It flows where there is openness, not pressure. So if you try to earn from fear, desperation, or comparison, money won't stay. But when money becomes a natural outcome of your passion, gratitude, and purpose, it flows in by itself. How to practice let go. Now the question is, how do you actually let go? Carlson gives a beautifully simple answer. Stop arguing with life. Don't fight life, flow with it. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, could this be happening for me, not to me? Because often, life doesn't follow our plan. It follows our growth plan. Carlson writes, sometimes life delays things not to punish you, but to prepare you. So if a deal breaks, or an income source suddenly stops, don't panic. Maybe life is just creating space for something better. He says, peace is not when everything is perfect. It's when you stop needing it to be. Letting go isn't losing. It's trusting that life knows what it's doing. The law of effortless action. Carlson often repeats a key concept, effortless action. Do the work that feels right, not the work that fear forces you to do. He says, when you act from fear, you block your wisdom. Action driven by fear creates anxiety. Action born from faith creates flow. That's what the let go strategy is. Allowing things to unfold, not forcing them to happen. When you step back a little, you begin to see more clearly. And that clarity makes your work more powerful. Carlson writes, don't confuse activity with progress. Sometimes slowing down is moving forward. Sometimes pausing is the fastest way to move ahead. Real life calm. Carlson says, peace of mind isn't a result of perfect circumstances. It's a decision you make each day. Every day you have two choices. React to everything, or simply observe. When you observe, your mind relaxes, and that relaxation makes you a better thinker. He reminds us, calm people aren't lucky, they're practice. Peace isn't accidental. It's a skill, one that grows with practice, patience, and perspective. This fourth part of the book teaches us that life doesn't work by control, it flows by trust. The let go strategy means not controlling the road, but trusting the journey. Richard Carlson says, relax, your life knows what it's doing. So next time things don't go according to plan, don't panic. Maybe this delay is your next breakthrough in disguise. Stop holding on so tight, and watch how effortlessly everything begins to align. That's the let go strategy. Hold less, gain more, run less, reach farther, think less, understand deeper. In the next part, we'll explore how Richard Carlson Fear, the Faith Principle explains that money doesn't come when fear rules. It comes when faith begins. This is the most transformative part of the book, where you stop just earning money and start living in financial peace. Has it ever happened that the more you try to hold on to something, the farther it drifts away? Like sand, the tighter you grip it, the faster it slips through your fingers. We do the same with money. We believe staying in control keeps us safe, but in reality, it's what drains us. Richard Carlson says, the more you hold on, the more life slips away. And that's the fourth principle of this book, the let go strategy, which means let go of control so that things can take care of themselves. Why control fails. Carlson explains that our desire for control doesn't come from madness. It comes from insecurity. We cling to things because we don't trust that if we let go, everything will still be okay. He says, fear makes us grab tighter. Peace allows us to open up. We often think, if I let go, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, control often creates chaos. Just like when you hold on too tightly to a relationship, a project, or a deal, it begins to fall apart even faster. Think about it. When you keep analyzing a problem every hour, it starts to feel bigger than it really is. But when you step back for a while, your mind calms down and finds a solution on its own. Carlson writes, "Your mind knows how to solve things when you stop overthinking. When you stop forcing thoughts, clarity begins to appear. And with clarity, money, decisions, and direction all flow easily." The money paradox. Carlson says, "The less you worry about money, the easier it becomes to earn." This line is a heartbeat of the entire book. He explains that money is energy. It doesn't respond to fear, it responds to trust. When we're in control mode, we operate from the frequency of fear. What if I lose this? What if my income stops? These thoughts create scarcity deep in the subconscious. But when you let go, your vibration shifts from scarcity to flow, and that flow attracts abundance. Carlson says, money is like water. It flows where there is openness, not pressure. And think about it. If you try to grip water, it slips away. But when you open your hand, it gently rests there. That's what it means. If you chase money from fear, pressure, or comparison, it won't stay. But if you treat money as a natural outcome of your passion, gratitude, and purpose, it comes on its own. How to practice let go. Carlson gives a very simple way to learn this. Stop arguing with life. Don't fight with life. Flow with it. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, could this also be happening for a reason? Because often, things don't go according to our plan. They go according to our growth. He writes, sometimes life delays things not to punish you, but to prepare you. Think of an ocean wave. It always retreats, but only so it can return stronger. So if a deal breaks or an income source ends, don't panic. Maybe life is creating space for something better. Carlson says, peace is not when everything is perfect. It's when you stop needing it to be. Letting go isn't losing. It's trusting that life is moving in the right direction. The law of effortless action. Throughout the book, Carlson repeats one core idea: effortless action. Do what feels right, not what fear forces you to do. He says, when you act from fear, you block your wisdom. Actions driven by fear create restlessness. Actions driven by faith create flow. That's the essence of the let go strategy. To let things unfold naturally, not to push them constantly. Many people think pausing means losing, but often that pause is the beginning of your win. When you step back, you start seeing things more clearly, and that clarity gives power to your actions. Carlson writes, don't confuse activity with progress. Sometimes slowing down is moving forward. Sometimes stopping for a moment is exactly what moves you ahead. Real life calm. Carlson says, peace of mind isn't a result of perfect circumstances. It's a decision you make each day. Every day you have two choices. Either react to everything or simply observe. When you observe, your mind relaxes, and that relaxation makes you a better thinker. He says, calm people aren't lucky, they're practice. And that practice begins with just 5 seconds a day when you do nothing and simply breathe. Peaceful people aren't born that way. They learn to let go. This fourth part of the book teaches us that life doesn't work through control. It works through trust. The let go strategy means don't try to control the path. Just trust the direction. Richard Carlson says, relax. Your life knows what it's doing. Sometimes letting go of control is the only way to gain it back. So the next time things don't go as planned, don't panic. Maybe this delay is preparing you for your next breakthrough. Stop holding on so tight and see how effortlessly everything begins to fit. That's the let go strategy. Hold less, gain more, run less, reach farther, think less, understand deeper. In the next part, we'll explore how Richard Carlson's fear to faith principle reveals that money comes not when fear ends, but when faith begins. Because sometimes letting go of control is the very secret. That brings everything under your control. Have you ever felt that your life is being quietly controlled by an invisible fear? Ever notice how that fear becomes like an unseen puppet master, pulling your strings in small choices and big decisions alike? That fear of what if the money runs out? That fear of what if I miss this chance? Or that deeper one, what will people think if I fail? Richard Carlson says, almost every bad decision in life comes from fear. Fear is that invisible thread that pulls every decision you make, silently, without your permission. But when you learn to see your fear and turn it into faith, life starts to feel effortless, as if some invisible force is finally walking with you, not against you. And that's exactly what this part of the book teaches. The journey from fear to faith. The illusion of fear. Carlson writes, fear is not reality. It's just a thought that feels real. Our mind constantly creates future movies, and most of them never actually happen. But those imagined fears paralyze us, like the night before an exam when sleep disappears. And in the morning, that same fear looks so small. Or when you start a new project, and instantly imagine 1,000 what-ifs. Those same thoughts become ghosts that block your decisions. When you realize that fear is a thought, not truth, you immediately feel a little lighter. Carlson reminds us, the mind already knows how to solve things. You just have to stop overloading it. Our mind plays future movies that rarely come true. Fear shrinks, faith expands. Carlson says, fear contracts your world. Faith expands it. Fear makes us play small. We take only safe steps. And that's where our world begins to shrink. But when we think from faith, our mind becomes creative and new paths appear. Think about it. If a child stopped learning out of fear, would they ever learn to walk? A child falls but stands again, not because they're fearless, but because they trust the process more than the outcome. Carlson says, faith doesn't mean ignoring fear. It means acting even when you feel it. Faith is not the absence of fear. It's the courage to move despite it. And when you do that, small victories slowly build your inner strength. The financial fear trap. The fear of money is the trickiest one. It often hides behind a mask of logic. Carlson says, many people hide their fears behind a mask of logic. A small story. A man kept rejecting promotions year after year, saying, right now, job security matters more. Years later, he realized that the security had quietly kept him away from growth, and now he lived with regret. There's a difference between wise caution and fearful stagnation. Fear often disguises itself as wisdom, and that's why many people live safe, but never fulfilled. Carlson writes, fear disguises itself as wisdom. When you move with faith, you take right risks, the kind that grow you, not the kind that drain you. Faith as a daily practice. Carlson clarifies, faith is not a feeling, it's a practice. Faith isn't a one-time event. It's a daily exercise. He gives a few simple ways to build it. Keycap 1, pause before panic. Take a deep breath before you react or decide. Keycap 2, replace what if with even if. Instead of what if I fail, say, even if I fail, I'll learn something. Keycap 3, trust small results. Notice and celebrate little wins. They train your subconscious to feel safe again. Carlson says, faith grows through repetition like a muscle. So try it today. Whenever fear comes, pause, breathe, and say, even if, you'll feel your energy shift immediately. From fearful thoughts to peaceful flow, Carlson teaches a deep yet simple practice. Don't fight fear, just observe it. Don't fight fear, just notice it and it loses power. When you watch fear without reacting, it can no longer control you. A practical cue. When anxiety strikes, label it, this is just fear. Then take one small step forward. Carlson writes, when you are not afraid of fear, it disappears. Let fear be a signal, not a stop sign. That shift will slowly move you into a peaceful flow, where your decisions feel clear, and your actions feel aligned. Carlson says, faith is your most profitable asset. Fear shrinks your vision. Faith expands it. Fear whispers, don't try. Faith whispers, just try. I felt this too. Every time I chose trust over fear, life opened another door. Carlson writes, let your fear be a signal, not a stop sign. So next time fear appears, don't resist it. Acknowledge it, then softly say, I trust. Fear may not disappear, but your trust will grow stronger. And when faith grows, money, people, and opportunities start naturally moving toward you. Carlson reminds us, every time you choose trust over fear, life opens one more door for you. So next time fear tries to stop you, smile and say, I trust. Because when your heart is calm and filled with faith, life starts flowing with you. And that's where real effortless abundance begins. Next part, simplify to multiply, where Carlson shows how simplifying your life can multiply your productivity, peace, and prosperity. Have you ever felt that your life has become too heavy? Too much work, too many thoughts, and a heart that never really feels at peace? You keep doing things all day long, but deep down, that same restlessness remains. You stay busy from morning till night. Yet at the end of the day, it still feels like nothing meaningful was achieved. Richard Carlson asks, are you busy or are you productive? That single question hits deep because most people are moving, but not arriving anywhere. This part of the book teaches something powerful. Doing less isn't weakness, it's wisdom. When you simplify your life, money, time, and peace all start to multiply. The myth of more. Carlson says, we live in a culture that worships more work, more goals, more achievements. But this worship of more drains us from the inside. We keep chasing new gadgets, new plans, new success formulas, and forget that wealth doesn't come from effort. It comes from clarity. Carlson writes, simplicity creates clarity, and clarity attracts abundance. Just imagine if today you didn't add anything, but simply removed a few unnecessary things. How light would life feel? When your room is messy, you can't find anything. But once you clean it, things reveal themselves naturally. Life is no different. When you remove what's unnecessary, the essential starts to shine on its own. The power of less. Carlson says, do less, but do it well. That's one of the most counterintuitive lessons of this book. The world teaches us, do more to earn more. But Carlson says, success is not about doing everything. It's about doing the right thing calmly. He explains that people who do less but achieve more aren't lucky, they're simply clear. Take an example. A businessman tried to do everything himself. Emails, meetings, calls. He thought that was control, but it was actually chaos. The day he learned to delegate, his business started to grow. I've felt the same. When I tried to do everything, I ended up only with exhaustion. Carlson says, every yes to something unimportant is a no to what truly matters. If you keep saying yes to everything, you'll never have room for what truly makes you rich, in money or in peace. Simplify your mind. Carlson writes, your mind is like a river. It flows clearly only when it's not cluttered. Soft reverb voice, gentle tone. He explains that mental clutter is the biggest productivity killer. Notice how when your mind is overloaded, even small tasks feel overwhelming. Our brain keeps playing dozens of voices. What if it fails? Is this right? Will people understand me? And in that storm, our energy gets scattered. Carlson says, don't try to think more. Think less, but better. Take 10 minutes every day to declutter your mind. Turn off your phone, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, what's the one most important thing I need to do today? Those 10 minutes of simplicity create clarity that lasts the entire day. Simplify your space. Carlson says, outer clutter creates inner confusion. Your room, your desk, your phone, they all mirror your mental state. Spend 5 minutes each day cleaning your space. Because when your environment is orderly, your subconscious receives a signal. I am ready for order and abundance. Carlson says, when you clear physical space, you invite new opportunities. When you let go of old things, you make space for new ones, not just in your shelves, but in your life. Simplify your goals. Carlson writes, you don't need 100 goals. You need one clear purpose. He calls goal overload the modern stress trap. We want to do everything. Grow a business, build a body, create content, fix relationships. But in trying to do it all, we lose focus. Carlson says, focus on less to achieve more. Pick one mission at a time and let the rest move to the background. If you had to choose just one thing, that would take you the farthest in the next 6 months. What would it be? Carlson says, peaceful focus is 10 times more productive than anxious multitasking. Calm attention, he says, is the real performance superpower. Simplify your relationship with money. Carlson says, money should be your tool, not your tension. When you treat money as pressure, it creates stress. When you treat it as flow, it grows naturally. The fewer your wants, the greater your freedom. Carlson says, the more you simplify your desires, the faster money multiplies. When you reduce your wants, gratitude increases, and gratitude is a natural magnet for prosperity. He reminds us, peace is a foundation of wealth. The art of simplicity. Richard Carlson says, simplicity is not about having less. It's about making room for more meaning. Simplifying your life doesn't always mean giving up things. Sometimes, it just means giving up heavy thoughts. Clarity creates direction, and direction builds momentum. When you simplify, you stop wasting energy and start channeling it. That's when things begin to multiply. Money, peace, and possibilities. Carlson reminds us, slow down to speed up. The formula for growth is simple. Think less, but think clearly. Desire less, but live more. Do less, but do it deeply. Because simplicity isn't weakness. It's the maturity of success. When you simplify, life itself begins to multiply. Next chapter preview. Detach from outcome. Now that you've learned the art of simplifying, the next step is even deeper, letting go. In the upcoming chapter, detach from outcome. Carlson teaches that true power doesn't come from winning, but from releasing the need to win. Because sometimes, letting go isn't defeat. It's the most powerful form of victory. Have you ever worked hard for something, poured your heart into it, planned every step, prayed deeply, and yet the result turned out completely different from what you expected? That moment when disappointment quietly whispered in your heart, I did everything right, then why did this happen? Richard Carlson says, we suffer not because of what happens, but because of how attached we are to the outcome. Pain doesn't come from the result itself. It comes from our attachment to how we think it should be. And that's where Richard Carlson shifts our perspective completely. Detach from outcome. Let go of controlling the result, because peace is always in the process, never in the result. The trap of overattachment. Carlson writes, the more attached you are to the result, the more anxious you become. When you hold on to something too tightly, it starts to drain you. Notice how, when things don't go as planned, we don't just get upset, we start blaming ourselves. Imagine this. You prepared for a big interview for a week, walked in confidently, gave your best, but when the result came, you weren't selected. The real pain was a rejection. It was the expectation that this must happen. Carlson says, when your happiness depends on a result, you lose freedom. Because if your peace depends on something outside you, it will always stay fragile. The freedom of letting go. Carlson says, letting go is not giving up, it's trusting life's flow. Letting go doesn't mean quitting. It means accepting that timing, direction, and outcomes don't always belong to your control. Try to hold the wind, it will slip away. But open your wings, and that same wind will lift you. Carlson writes, life is like a river. The moment you stop fighting the current, it carries you forward. The less you try to control, the more effortlessly life begins to flow. He says, peace doesn't come from winning. It comes from accepting. The secret of detached action. Carlson says, do your best, then relax. Do your part fully, but release your grip on the outcome. He calls it a dance. You take your steps with trust, and life decides the music. Attachment narrows your vision. Detachment clears it. Think about it. When you take an exam only to top it, anxiety blocks your memory. But when your focus is on doing your best, clarity and performance both rise. Carlson says, effort belongs to you, results belong to life. Your effort is yours, but the result belongs to life. And when you truly understand that balance, your steps become lighter, calmer, and more powerful. The inner shift. Carlson explains that real detachment means shifting from control to trust. When you trust outcomes instead of trying to control them, your anxiety naturally begins to dissolve. Because now, you're no longer attached to one specific future. You're open to any future that helps you grow. Faith is not believing that everything will go your way. It's believing that whatever happens will be for your growth. Faith doesn't mean expecting everything to go as you wish. It means trusting that whatever happens will be exactly what you need. Carlson calls this the mental freedom moment. The instant you realize that fear, tension, and expectation were never part of your path. They were just the dust on it. Real-life detachment practice. Carlson gives us simple but powerful practices. Keycap 1, observe a desire, don't become it. When a strong desire arises, just notice it, don't cling to it. Keycap 2, replace I must with I prefer. Change I must succeed to I prefer to succeed. This small shift removes pressure but keeps purpose. Keycap 3, celebrate effort, not outcome. Appreciate yourself for the work you put in, regardless of the result. So next time something doesn't go your way, remind yourself, I tried, and that's enough. When you stop chasing results, results start finding you. The peace of detachment. Carlson writes, peace comes when you no longer need everything to go your way. When you stop forcing life to match your plan, it starts revealing its own beauty. Detachment doesn't mean not caring. It means stopping the overcare that leads to pain. Because overcare suffocates, but gentle care brings peace. True success is inner calm while outer things are uncertain. When the world outside feels uncertain, but your heart stays still, that's real strength. The flow of trust. Carlson says, life is a river. The more you cling to the shore, the more you struggle. But the moment you let go, the current takes you exactly where you need to be. Sometimes, delays are not detours. They're divine design. Trust the timing of your life. The door that closes often opens another that fits you better. When you detach from how things should be, you discover how beautiful they already are. Carlson reminds, detach, don't disconnect. Don't stop trying. Just stop worrying. Because when you release attachment to results, your creativity, clarity, and confidence return naturally. You can't control life, but you can control how peaceful you are while living it. The essence. Your only real job is to give your best, not to grip the outcome. Detach from outcome and watch how life starts aligning with you. Because peace isn't found in control. It's found in flow. Peace is not found in control. It's found in surrender. Every day, tell yourself, I did my part today, now I leave the rest of life. When you detach from outcomes, you conserve your energy, and that energy becomes the quiet power that moves you forward. Because in the end, success is what you get, it's the peace you become. Next chapter, enjoy the journey. In the next principle, Richard Carlson shows that real wealth isn't in the bank. It's in the smile you discover along the way. It's about enjoying the journey itself, where happiness isn't the destination. It's the rhythm that makes every step worth taking. Have you ever felt like you're chasing your destination so hard that you've completely forgotten to enjoy the journey? Think about it. Has any goal ever truly made you happy, or did it just push you toward the next one? Every morning you wake up to the same schedule, the same targets, the same chase, but deep down, there's no peace. Richard Carlson asks, if you're not enjoying the process, what's the point of the goal? That question feels like a mirror, showing us that most people are busy completing life, not living it. And that's where the 9th principle of his book begins. Enjoy the journey. Don't wait for happiness at the destination. Learn to smile on the way. The illusion of arrival. Carlson says, most people live as if happiness is waiting at the finish line. We think, when I get that promotion, I'll be happy. When I make more money, I'll finally have peace. When I find a perfect relationship, I'll feel complete. But the truth is, every destination gives birth to another one. That one day never actually comes. Carlson writes, "You never really arrive, you just keep traveling." Have you ever stopped and wondered, why does restlessness still stay, even after so many achievements? Because if happiness is tied to the future, the present will always feel incomplete. Peace is not a destination, it's a way of traveling. Life is a daily practice. Carlson teaches that life is not a goal, it's a daily practice. Don't save your happiness for later, practice it now. He says that most people treat happiness like a reward that comes after hard work. But happiness isn't a reward, it's a habit. Your mood creates your world. Morning coffee, a friend's laughter, the sunset you ignore every day. That is life. If you wait for big things to be grateful for, you'll miss the million small miracles happening every day. When was the last time you truly smiled? Not for a reason, just because you felt alive. The paradox of ambition. Carlson says, ambition is beautiful, but only when it's peaceful. Ambition gives us energy, but when it turns into restlessness, it becomes exhaustion. I once believed that the faster I moved, the closer I'd get. But at the end of the day, I was just tired, not fulfilled. You can be inspired without being in a hurry. Have dreams, yes, but don't forget to enjoy the road. Slow down, not because you're lazy, but because you're wise. Turning work into play. Carlson writes, when you take your work too seriously, you forget to be creative. The people who treat work like play, they're the ones who grow the most. A painter doesn't think about the future while painting. He just flows. That's where creativity lives. Do what you love, not to escape life, but to feel more alive within it. Letting go of perfection. Carlson says, perfection is the enemy of peace. The need to be perfect disconnects us from the joy of the process. Once, I edited a post 10 times. I was so afraid to publish it that I lost time and confidence. Later, I realized imperfect action gave me growth that perfection never could. Enjoying life means embracing its rough edges. If everything were perfect, where would the fun of learning be? You don't need to be perfect to be peaceful. Finding joy in the ordinary. Carlson says, the happiest people are not those with the best things, but those who notice beauty in ordinary things. Everyday joys are the real treasures of life. Laughing during breakfast, the smell of rain, an old song that takes you back. True abundance is emotional, not material. When your mind races too much, even small tasks feel heavy. When you slow down enough to notice, you realize that life was never against you. You were just running too fast. From struggle to flow. Carlson says, struggle ends when you stop resisting the moment. When you stop fighting life, it starts flowing smoothly. Think of a river. It bends, but it never breaks. Life doesn't demand struggle. It invites surrender. Flowing with life doesn't mean losing. It means freeing yourself from fear. The gift of gratitude. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into miracles. Every morning, write down 3 things you're thankful for. This simple habit can shift your mind from worry to wonder. The moment you feel grateful, you stop feeling poor. Because the one who sees blessings will never feel lack. Carlson says, you can't reach peace by running faster. You reach it by walking slower. Real wisdom in life is this. Happiness is not at the destination. It's the fragrance of the journey itself. When you start finding meaning in ordinary days, the extraordinary begins to grow naturally. Enjoying the journey doesn't mean stopping. It means smiling while moving. Carlson says, don't rush through life, feel it. Today, do one thing. Every time you think about your next goal, pause for, have you ever wondered, what is the biggest fear in life? Is it the fear you can see or the one you can't? The real fear is uncertainty, that constant whisper of what if I fail? What if this chance slips away? What if everything goes wrong? Richard Carlson asks, why do we think certainty is safety when all of life is uncertain? That question hits like lightning, because the truth is, we call it certainty, but what we're really chasing is control. And in the process of trying to control everything, We end up losing the joy of simply living. Life is not meant to be certain. It's meant to be mysterious. And the moment you stop fearing the mystery, you actually start living. The myth of control. Carlson says, the need for control is the biggest illusion of a human mind. We believe that if everything goes our way, life will be fine. But tell me honestly, has life ever gone exactly your way? No. And yet, here you are still standing. He reminds us, you survived every uncertainty you ever faced. Think about it. Every story, every lesson, every victory in your life began with uncertainty. So why fear it? When you stop fearing uncertainty, you start feeling alive. The power of not knowing. This chapter takes us into a completely new mindset. I don't know, and that's okay. Carlson says, not knowing keeps you curious, keeps you humble. Have you ever noticed? Children are fearless because they don't fear outcomes. For them, everything is new. Every mistake is discovery. But as we grow older, we become experts. And this need for certainty slowly kills our growth. The beginner's mind is fearless because it trusts the moment. Carlson beautifully adds, uncertainty isn't chaos, it's creativity in disguise. The very thing that scares us is often the thing that helps us evolve. Trust over tension. Carlson writes, you can't control the ocean, but you can learn to surf. Waves are all around you, challenges, changes, surprises. But those who don't fear the waves learn to ride them. Trust the process, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. Your journey doesn't have to look like anyone else's. That's exactly what makes it special. He reminds us, every time you choose trust over tension, you move closer to peace. Trust dissolves fear, because trust believes that life never makes mistakes. It only teaches. From anxiety to awareness. Carlson explains, anxiety is your mind trying to predict life. Awareness is your soul accepting it. When you try to control the future, you create anxiety. But when you begin to observe uncertainty without fear, peace quietly returns. He suggests a simple practice. Pause practice. Whenever fear appears, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Say to yourself, this too shall pass. Peace begins when you pause. Carlson says, every moment of uncertainty is an invitation to return to the present, because in the present there is no fear, only clarity. The beauty of unfinished stories. Carlson writes, life is not a problem to solve. It's a story to experience. Think about it. A movie is beautiful only because we don't know what happens next. If every scene was predictable, it would lose its magic. So, why do we try to predict every scene of our own life? Don't be in a rush to finish your story. Every chapter has its purpose. Every delay, every setback, is part of an unseen preparation. Sometimes what you didn't get was actually life's way of protecting you. The faith formula. Richard Carlson says, faith is not a belief, it's a behavior. Faith means showing up again every morning, even if yesterday was uncertain. Faith is doing your best without demanding results. Faith isn't closing your eyes and hoping. It's keeping them open and walking forward despite the fear. Don't need to see the whole staircase. Just take the next step. You may not always have clarity, but every step you take gives you strength. Making peace with change. Carlson says, change is not your enemy. Resistance is. We don't really fear change. We fear losing control. But when you allow yourself to change, your life begins to expand. Everything that feels like an ending is actually a beginning. Sometimes closure isn't what you plan. It's what life chooses for you. Let life surprise you. It's better at it than you are. So far, this book has taught us how to balance money, peace, and calm. But this final message is the deepest of all. Make peace with uncertainty. Because every unknown turn in life isn't danger, it's direction. Every why will find its answer, not in your timing, but in life's. Peace isn't about having answers. It's about being okay with the questions. Pause and look back. How many times did you move forward despite fear? How many times did uncertainty make you stronger? Those moments when you thought, what now? They became the foundation of your greatest strength. Dizzy the grand takeaway, the final lesson. Carlson says, "The greatest wealth is a peaceful mind in an uncertain world." So from today, you don't need to know everything. You just need to trust a little more each day. When fear comes, remind yourself, you survived before, you'll survive again. When things don't go as planned, remember, life isn't making mistakes, it's rerouting you. And when nothing makes sense, just say, "I don't know how, but I trust it'll be okay." Now it's your turn. Take one small step toward trust today. Comment this to yourself. I choose trust over fear. Because that single sentence can reprogram your subconscious with peace. If even one line from this journey touched your heart, share it, because it might become someone else's moment of calm today. And remember, life doesn't promise certainty. It offers opportunity. And those who embrace it don't just win, they live. Don't worry. Don't rush. Trust life. It knows what it's doing. If you felt this entire book summary deeply, then it wasn't just a summary. It was a journey between you and your inner peace. From now on, just remember this. The path may be uncertain, but if your heart is peaceful, every road becomes a destination.